The Jim and Terry Show, coming to you from the Hobbit Hole Studio in Bobcaygeon. I'm your host, Terry. My partner in crime is getting fun in the sun. Take care, Jim. I hope you're getting a nice bronzed look, not the spray gold-colored tan of somebody else, but, you know, a nice, healthy look. And get some sleep. Sleep. Yes, the thing that eludes us as we grow older. Restlessness, bladder. How many times do you get up? Other things besides fun in the sun and bladders. What's been going on? Well, I want to take a look at some, what I would call far-right podcasters, looking at the Carney visit to the Oval Office. This one is from someone who I'm not that familiar with, but she came up on one of my streams, so I thought I'd take a look. And this is what we got.
But I didn't like his predecessor. I didn't like a person that worked for. She was terrible, actually. She was a terrible person. And she really hurt that deal very badly because she tried to take advantage of the deal and she didn't get away with it. You know what I'm talking about.
Donald Trump met with Mark Carney today, and it was even more of a disaster than I thought it was going to be. Holy crap. I'm Jasmine Lane. This is Over Opinionated. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe.
All right. Jasmine Lane, I think is her name. Holy crap, she said. Did she watch the same Oval Office interview, the presentation that I watched? Mark Carney arrives, greeted, handshakes, sat down. He wore a suit so he couldn't be Zelensky. But the takeaways, if you are on the right or the far right of things, it's holy crap, Canada. Or words to that effect, where they're going to go on and attack Carney, attack the Liberals, they're still going to attack Trudeau. F Trudeau. Yeah, the rage is still there. If you go to the comments on some of these things, you can really tell that the anger is residual. It's lasting. So who got them all stirred up? Pierre Poilievre. What does he want to do? Get rid of the Liberals, I guess. 9.5 years of Trudeau. Yeah, okay. Well, that didn't work very well for you in the election in your own riding, Mr. Poilievre. So, should we take anything that this podcaster is going to say? Well, maybe we need to take a look and listen. Take a look. If you're on YouTube, I'll put a link in the description. Excuse me. Not that I'm trying to publicize these far-right conspiracy people, but, you know, you can tell by the tone of a podcast. You can tell by the words they use. You can tell by the tone whether they are empathetic or just attack dogs out for a dog whistle treat. And that's what seems to be happening here.
After today's episode. In other news, Pierre Poilievre made his first appearance to the media since the election. We're also going to be breaking down all of the most shocking moments from Donald Trump just cleaning the floor with Mark Carney. Oh my gosh. If we have time, we're going to get into Danielle Smith and her address to Albertans as well as the federal government yesterday, which was really, really awesome among many.
All right, that's about enough that I could take, Jasmine Lane. Well, you obviously have a bias, and yes, when you're speaking highly of Alberta's Danielle Smith being so great, I would ask you, what is the evidence for that? The fact that she's going to have a referendum to separate Alberta, the West exit, Wexit? What? That's greatness to you, measured in your desire to separate? What did Alberta think of Quebec when Quebec was trying to do the same thing in the 1970s with René Lévesque? I don't think you thought it was so great then. So what's changed now that Alberta's the one driving the separatist movement in Canada? Well, there's a lot more in Jasmine Lane's take on things that is of interest to me. But obviously, you know, you can start to get the color, the flavor, the tone. And it's very much a preachy, angry lady kind of thing. I'm not going to say she's a Karen entitled, But she's definitely got something to say. And yeah, I'm not sure that it's the right message for Canada at this time. So what else does she have to say? I don't want to extol her virtues and play too much about her, but another clip might be something worth listening to because it confirms where she's actually coming from, and it's not a nice place.
Forget about political stripes, by the way. We have a prime minister down there, and he's going to be sitting down, and he's going to give it everything he can. This is a time to unite the country, not people saying, oh, I'm leaving the country, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You know, united we stand, divided we fall.
Last night, Doug Ford went off about Danielle Smith. He went off about the U.S. Seriously, listen to this.
I can't wait for the midterms. Then we'll fix his little red wagon. Anyways, and the economic uncertainties created on both sides of the border already having a direct impact on our province and our workers. Many problems are because of the chaos coming from south of the border.
You just shouldn't lie. You know, it's really good to be grounded in reality. Even when reality goes against your narrative, it's important to acknowledge that it is the fact. Our problems are not due to south of the border. Yes, it is an annoyance especially for certain industries, from Donald Trump, but that's not where our problems come from. Our problems come from mass government overreach, mass government overspending, shutting down pipelines, having resource blocking, industry disturbing bills that get passed all in the sake of we're going green, even though there's no research at all to show that that's going to be successful. In fact, quite the opposite. Our problems are due to a bad, failed government.
Okay, that's kind of enough for me. Get the hair on the back of my neck standing up. Bad, failed government. Well, let's go back. Ford. Ontario Premier Ford. I have nothing really good to say, but he is wearing a Team Canada shirt, and he's got a hockey stick in his hand, I think, and he's definitely elbows up. Yes, the problems from the United States over tariffs are real. They are a real problem. And if I think you talked about the interview with Mark Carney, but you didn't mention the line where Trump said, and I don't know whether it's true, but he did say it, that when he asked former Prime Minister Trudeau what would tariffs on the auto industry do to Canada, and Trudeau, according to Trump, said it would destroy Canada, or words to that effect. Yes, it would have a significant impact. The 25%, I don't know if it's 25 yet or it's 10, but it would have a significant adverse impact. So don't tell me, Miss Over-Opinionated, that this is not a significant issue. And don't talk to me about Bill C-69, which is an environmental protection mechanism to talk about the process that companies must go through in order to drill, extract, process things that can be toxic to the environment. And please don't tell me that you're going to be a climate science denier. The data supports climate change. The data, and I would hazard a guess that it's over 99% of climate scientists support the data. There will be the odd report that challenges those findings, but the vast majority will say climate change is real and we got to do something about it. And green is good. Sustainability is good. Doing more with less is good. Reduce, reuse, recycle, all good messages. But it seems to be lost on the culture wars who would rather rail against DEI or other practices that they would categorize as government overreach. Well, there's where we're going to depart. My opinion is obviously on the center and the leaning to the left, making sure progress is made. A partnership with the NDP, it wasn't a partnership. It was an arrangement to support progressive policies. The NDP, we will miss your voice at the table. I don't think the party's done. There's a lot more to say about this. Bias. It's a terrible thing. Bye-bye for now.